All right, tonight we're diving deep into a story that'll make you think twice about those late-night drives.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at a transcript from the HHorrorStories podcast,
Oh, cool.
where a guest named Ryan shares his experience on Highway 67 in Texas.
Oh, wow.
Is this just a spooky tale, or is there something more to it?
Right.
Well, that's what we're here to figure out.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is that Ryan isn't some, ghost story enthusiast.
Mhm.
He's actually an independent writer and traveler.
Oh, wow.
Someone who's used to spending time alone on the road with his thoughts.
Right.
And yet this experience on Highway 67 has stuck with him.
It sounds like it.
It really has.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Okay.
Picture this.
Okay.
It's 2 a.m. Ryan's driving home after a trip,
Mm-hmm.
all alone on this deserted stretch of highway.
Yeah, you can already feel the creep factor setting in.
You really can.
Oh, yeah.
It's like just that image alone.
Yeah.
So,
When you're driving late at night and everything's quiet, your senses are heightened.
oh, actually.
And it's almost like your brain starts filling in the blanks, looking
Yeah.
for patterns
Oh, yeah.
in the darkness.
I can imagine, just every little sound, every
Yeah.
shadow takes on a whole new meaning.
Right, exactly.
So what happens next?
Well,
Does he see something?
he sees a figure in his rearview mirror sitting in the back seat.
Like someone's in the car with him.
Yes, and he's adamant that his car was locked.
What?
Which makes this even more unsettling.
So someone just appeared in his back seat
That's right.
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah. And he describes her as a woman in a white dress
Okay.
with these cold, expressionless eyes.
That classic woman in white
Right?
we hear about in so many ghost stories.
Exactly.
I'm already getting chills.
It's an archetype that appears across cultures,
Right.
often symbolizing loss, sorrow, or something left unfinished.
Right.
Something like that.
I see.
Ah.
So what does Ryan do?
Well, to make things even creepier,
Yeah.
she whispers, "Help me."
Oh my God.
Ryan slams on the brakes, spins around to confront her,
Yeah.
and she's vanished.
Oh,
Like she disappeared into thin air.
just like that.
Yeah, but here's where it gets really strange.
Okay.
Not only is the woman gone,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a handprint on the inside of his back window.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's physical evidence.
Right.
Handprint inside a locked car.
A locked car.
And how do you explain that?
Right, it definitely challenges our understanding of the physical world, doesn't it?
It really does.
I mean, could a ghost really leave behind physical evidence like that?
Right, you have to wonder.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
Well, he tries to rationalize it,
Okay.
but then his car radio turns on by itself
Oh, man.
and starts playing this eerie, unfamiliar song.
Hmm.
And the lyrics are all about
Oh,
being taken back to where someone belongs.
oh my gosh. It's like something's trying to communicate with him
Right.
through the radio.
Right. It's interesting you say that
Yeah.
because some people believe that spirits can manipulate electronic devices to send messages,
Yeah.
which is often called EVP
EVP.
or electronic voice phenomena.
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah, EVP. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Okay, cool.
So did the music stop when he tried turning off the radio?
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
He tried everything.
It wasn't like just the radio was stuck on.
No, he even unplugged the radio.
Oh, wow.
But the music kept playing.
Oh my God.
It's like it was coming from somewhere else entirely.
At this point, I think I'd be pulling over and questioning my sanity.
Right.
So what does Ryan do?
He's understandably freaked out,
Yeah.
and he decides to stop at a gas station,
Yeah.
hoping to just get a grip on reality.
Yeah. I think I'd need a break from all that weirdness, too.
Yeah, for sure.
So what happens at the gas station?
So he tells the clerk about his experience,
Okay.
and the clerk casually mentions a fatal accident that happened on that same highway years ago. And guess what?
Well,
The victim was a woman who was sitting in the backseat of a car.
no way that's too much of a coincidence.
Right.
It's almost like Ryan's encounter
Mhm.
is linked to this past tragedy.
It definitely makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If there's some connection between the woman in the car and the woman in Ryan's back seat. Are we dealing with a restless spirit here?
I'm starting to see why this story has stuck with Ryan.
Yeah.
It's not just some random ghost sighting.
Right.
There's this eerie connection to a real-life event.
Exactly.
So as if things weren't strange enough already,
Yeah.
the highway itself starts to transform as Ryan drives away from the gas station.
Oh, wow.
Wait, the highway transforms. What do you mean by that?
The long, straight road he was on disappears,
Right.
replaced by a narrow, winding path surrounded by trees.
Okay.
Even his GPS starts acting up,
Oh.
unable to pinpoint his location.
It's like reality itself is warping around him.
Right. It's almost as if he's entered another dimension.
Right.
Or at least a place where the normal rules don't apply.
So is this where the woman in white reappears?
Yes, Ryan sees her again.
Okay.
This time standing in the middle of the road.
Okay.
She points toward a faint light in the distance, as if urging him to follow.
This is getting really interesting.
Right.
It's like she's leading him somewhere.
Yeah.
But the question is where and why?
Right.
So what does he do? Does he pull over again?
He follows her guidance
Oh, wow.
and eventually arrives at an old dilapidated house.
An abandoned house in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
That sounds like a perfect setting for a horror movie.
It really does.
So what happens inside the house?
So he finds a dusty old family photo.
Okay.
And one of the people in the photo
Yeah.
is the woman he's been seeing.
Whoa. So there's a real world connection to this woman.
Exactly.
It's not just some figment of his imagination.
Right. And to make things even more unsettling,
Yeah.
on the back of the photo,
Mhm.
there's a handwritten message. We are waiting for you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is creepy.
Right.
That is just plain creepy.
Yeah.
Like a message from beyond the grave.
It seems that way.
What do you think it means?
That's the big question, isn't it?
But it is.
What could it possibly mean?
Yeah.
Is it a threat?
Yeah.
Invitation?
Or something else entirely.
Yeah, we'll have to dive deeper
Right.
for find out.
Okay, so we've got a mysterious woman in white,
Mm-hmm.
a handprint in a locked car,
Yeah.
a radio that won't turn off,
Mm-hmm.
a creepy old house,
Yeah.
and a message from beyond the grave.
Right.
This is already shaping up to be one wild ride.
It really is.
So where do we go from here?
Well, this is where things take a truly surreal turn.
Okay.
The house, which was moments ago dilapidated and abandoned,
Sure.
suddenly transforms into a clean, furnished home.
Wait, the house transforms.
Yes. And the family from the photo
Yeah.
is there,
But they're alive,
alive and well.
but they're dead in the photo.
That's the strange part.
What is going on here?
The woman from the photo sits on the couch
Mm-hmm.
and says, "I'm home."
Okay.
Then everyone freezes,
Mm-hmm.
turns their heads, and stares directly at Ryan.
It sounds like he stumbled into something far deeper
Right.
than just a simple ghost story.
Yeah, it's very strange.
So what happens next? Does he try to talk to the family?
He tries to leave,
Okay.
feeling a strong sense of unease,
Mm-hmm.
but the doors and windows are locked.
So he's trapped.
He's trapped.
That's terrifying.
Huh.
So what happens then? Does he confront the family?
He's trying to figure out how to escape
Mm-hmm.
when black shadows start rising from the floor,
Oh my gosh.
swirling around him,
Okay.
pulling him down.
Oh no.
The woman from the photo, now looking more sinister than ever,
Yeah.
says, "It's your turn to stay here."
Oh my gosh.
Then everything fades to black.
Wow. What a cliffhanger.
Right.
It's like he's being pulled into this dark, supernatural world
Yeah.
against his will. What does it all mean? Is this the end for Ryan? We'll have to find out in part 2 of our deep dive into this chilling tale.
Yeah, what a story.
Welcome back. We left off with Ryan trapped in that eerie house
Right.
with the shadows closing in.
Yeah.
I'm on the edge of my seat here. What happens to him?
Well, it seems like the house and the family were a sort of illusion,
Okay.
or perhaps a vision.
Okay.
When Ryan regains consciousness, he's back in his car.
So it's all just a bad dream?
It might have felt like a dream,
Okay.
but there's something that makes this even stranger.
What's that?
The family photo from the house is now sitting on his passenger seat.
Wait a minute, so the photo is real?
The photo is real.
It followed him out of that weird vision.
It did.
Oh my gosh, this is getting more and more unsettling.
Ryan's just as confused as you are, believe me.
Yeah.
To try and make sense of it all, he takes the photo to the police.
Okay, that's smart. Maybe they can shed some light on this mystery.
Yeah.
What did the police say?
The police confirm that the photo is of a real family who died in a car crash on that same highway 30 years ago.
Okay, that sends chills down my spine.
Yeah,
Not only is the woman real, but her entire family died on that same highway.
that same highway.
That can't be a coincidence.
This revelation adds a whole new layer to the story.
Right.
Now we have to consider, is Ryan experiencing some sort of haunting
Right.
linked to this tragic accident?
That would explain the woman's plea for help. Her connection to the highway,
Mhm.
and maybe even those creepy shadows.
Yeah.
Do you think Ryan is in danger?
Well, his experience doesn't end there.
Oh, no.
Back at home, things start getting really strange.
Okay.
He starts hearing whispers in his house,
Oh.
seeing the woman's reflection in mirrors.
So the haunting followed him home from the highway.
It seems that way.
What does he do?
He tries to ignore it at first.
Okay.
But then, one night, the woman appears in his bedroom.
Oh, my gosh.
She tells him, "You haven't fulfilled your promise."
Whoa, a promise. What promise?
She vanishes before explaining anything. But her words leave Ryan with a sense of responsibility,
Okay.
an urge to figure out what this promise could be.
It's like she's calling him to action,
Right.
but he doesn't even know what he's supposed to do.
Think about it. This woman, this spirit,
Mm-hmm.
is reaching out to Ryan specifically.
Right.
Why him?
Right.
What makes him so special?
Yeah.
That's what's really intriguing here.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah.
First, the woman appears in his car.
Right.
Then she leads him to the abandoned house.
Uh-huh.
Now she's appearing in his home, talking about a promise.
Right.
It's almost like she's guiding him step by step deeper into this mystery.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
It's almost like Ryan is being drawn into a role. He didn't ask for a role he might not even understand yet.
So what happens next? Does Ryan just go back to his normal life, pretending none of this is happening?
He tries, but it's no use.
Okay.
He starts having recurring dreams about Highway 67, that endless road, and the woman beckoning him back.
Okay.
He feels a powerful urge to return to the highway,
Okay.
seeking answers, closure, maybe even a way to help this woman find peace.
So he's not just a passive observer in this story.
Right.
He's actively seeking answers,
Yeah,
trying to unravel the mystery.
it seems that way.
It's like he's becoming more involved
He is.
in this otherworldly drama.
Right. It's almost as if he's accepted his role in all of this.
Yeah.
Even though he still doesn't fully understand it.
Okay.
He feels compelled to go back to Highway 67.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's something there he needs to find.
So he returns to the highway? Does he find the woman again?
He does, and this time she doesn't point toward the house.
Okay.
She gestures toward the woods that line the highway.
Into the woods.
Into the woods.
This is getting more and more like a classic fairy tale,
Right.
but with a dark, unsettling twist.
Yeah, the woods often represent the unknown,
Right.
a place of mystery and potential danger.
Absolutely, and in many folklore traditions, it's in the woods where we encounter supernatural beings
Exactly.
and face our deepest fears.
Right.
I bet Ryan is feeling pretty apprehensive as he heads deeper into the woods.
I bet.
What does he find there?
His journey leads him to an abandoned car.
An abandoned car, okay?
Inside the car, he finds, you guessed it, that same family photo.
Wow. It's like she's leaving him a trail of clues.
Right.
Breadcrumbs leading him deeper into this mystery.
Exactly.
But why?
Yeah, what is the purpose of all this?
What does she want him to understand?
Mhm.
What role does he play in all of this?
That's a good question.
All right, so we've got an abandoned car, a family photo, and a spooky forest.
Right.
What happens next?
Ryan continues deeper into the woods,
Okay.
following this trail of clues.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he stumbles upon something truly unexpected. An abandoned village.
An abandoned village that sounds ominous.
It is.
What does he find there?
As he walks through the village,
Mm-hmm.
he notices an old house that seems to be calling to him.
Okay.
He steps inside,
Mm-hmm.
discovers a photo of the woman and her family,
Okay.
and in a drawer, he finds a dusty old journal.
A journal that could hold some answers.
Maybe. The last entry in the journal
Yeah.
sends chills down Ryan's spine.
Oh, no.
It simply reads, "No one leaves here unless she is satisfied."
Oh, my gosh, that's creepy.
Right.
It sounds like this village is trapped by some kind of curse,
Yeah.
and the woman is at the heart of it.
It seems that way.
But what does it all mean?
Right.
And what does it have to do with Ryan?
As he explores the village further, he finds more clues.
Okay.
He learns that the villagers disappeared years ago, vanishing without a trace.
Okay.
And there are whispers of a ritual gone wrong,
Oh.
a deal made with dark forces.
So this isn't just a ghost story.
Right.
It's a story about a cursed village,
Yeah.
a deal with the devil,
Hmm.
and a woman who seems to hold the key to breaking the curse.
Exactly.
But how does Ryan fit into all of this?
That's what he's desperately trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And he gets another clue when he finds a reference in the journal
Okay.
to a place deep in the forest called the Hollow Tree.
The hollow tree, that sounds like something straight out of a fairy tale.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hollow trees are often seen as places of power in folklore,
Right.
representing a connection between worlds,
Uh-huh.
or even a portal to another realm.
It sounds like a dangerous place. Does Ryan go there?
He feels drawn to it,
Okay.
like it's the next step in his journey. It's a tough trek through the dense forest,
Yeah.
but he eventually finds the hollow tree.
I bet he's feeling pretty scared at this point.
I would be too.
I know I would be.
Yeah.
So what happens at the hollow tree?
As he approaches the tree, he notices a faint glow coming from inside. He reaches in
Yeah.
and discovers a silver locket with a tiny photo of the woman inside.
It's like she's leading him step by step towards something.
Right, and then she appears before him again. This time, her demeanor seems different.
Okay.
Less menacing, almost pleading.
Okay.
She tells Ryan, "Take this back to where it belongs and you will set me free."
Is it her free from what?
From what?
The curse.
Maybe?
Does she explain what she means?
No, but she gives him another clue.
Okay.
She tells him to return to the village, to the house where he found the journal, and follow the instructions written there.
Okay, this is getting really interesting.
It is.
Ryan's not just witnessing the supernatural anymore.
Right.
He's becoming an active participant
He is.
in this otherworldly drama.
Right.
He's on a mission now.
It's almost as if he's been chosen for this role.
Yeah.
Whether he likes it or not.
Right.
He has to decide. Will he follow the woman's instructions and try to help her? Or will he walk away from this whole unsettling situation?
That's a tough choice. On the one hand, he's probably terrified.
Right.
But on the other hand, he's clearly been drawn into this mystery for a reason. What does he decide to do?
We'll have to find out in part 3 of our deep dive.
Okay.
But I can tell you this.
Yeah.
Ryan's journey is far from over.
Right.
And the choices he makes will have consequences not only for himself, but for the woman in white.
Right.
And the fate of the cursed village.
Welcome back. We're about to find out if Ryan fulfills that promise and what happens to the woman in white. The tension is killing me.
Right, so remember, Ryan's in the cursed village. He's standing in that house where he found the journal.
Right.
And he's holding a silver locket in his hand.
Yeah.
What do you think is going through his mind at that moment?
I bet he's feeling a mix of fear and determination. You know, after all he's been through, he must realize he's all way over his head. But he's also come this far. He can't turn back now.
You hit the nail on the head. He feels this weight of responsibility, like he's been chosen to play a part in something much bigger than himself.
So does he trust the woman in white? Does he believe that helping her will actually break the curse and free those trapped villagers?
Well, he doesn't have much choice, does he?
Right.
I mean, the woman's plea for help, those chilling journal entries, that eerie atmosphere of the village, it all points to a powerful curse at work. He has to try something.
So what do the journal instructions say? What does he have to do?
The journal instructs him to place the locket on a table.
Okay.
And light candles around it.
Simple enough.
It's a simple ritual, but there's this underlying sense of dread. You know, like he's unleashing something powerful.
Okay, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. This whole scene is like something straight out of a horror movie. What happens when he lights the candles?
As soon as the last candle flickers to life, a piercing scream echoes through the house.
Oh my gosh.
The air grows heavy, and the shadows in the room start to twist and writhe as if they're coming to life.
The shadows again, they seem to be connected to this curse somehow. What do they represent? Are they evil spirits? Are they the spirits of the villagers trapped and tormented by this curse?
It's never explicitly stated what the shadows are, but it's a great question. Are they manifestations of the curse itself, or are they perhaps the spirits of the villagers trapped and tormented by the curse?
That would explain why they seem so menacing, so desperate to stop Ryan from breaking the curse.
Exactly. And just as the shadows reach their peak of intensity, the woman in white reappears.
Oh, wow.
But this time she seems different. Her voice is stronger, more urgent. She tells Ryan that he needs to burn the locket in the hollow tree.
So the hollow tree, again, it seems to be a central location of this whole mystery. But why burn the locket? What's the significance of that?
Think about it. The locket contains a photo of the woman.
Right.
Perhaps it represents her essence, her connection to this world.
Right.
By burning it, Ryan might be severing that connection, allowing her spirit to move on.
But didn't she want him to return the locket to where it belonged? Now she's asking him to burn it?
That's true. It seems like a contradiction, doesn't it? Maybe she realizes that the locket itself is somehow tied to the curse, or perhaps the act of burning it is symbolic, representing a sacrifice, a letting go of the past.
So what does Ryan do? Does he hesitate? Does he question her instructions?
He's apprehensive, understandably.
Yeah.
I mean, he's dealing with powerful supernatural forces here.
Right.
But he also senses the urgency in the woman's voice, her desperation to be free from this curse.
So he sets off on another journey to the hollow tree?
He does.
But the woman warns him that he'll face his worst fears along the way. What does she mean by that?
As he makes his way back to the hollow tree, the forest seems to come alive with sinister energy. He hears whispers taunting him, sees fleeting visions designed to frighten him.
Like what kind of visions?
At one point, he sees his own family, but they're not the loving family, he remembers. They're cold, distant, accusing him of abandoning them.
Wow, that's heavy stuff. It sounds like the curse is using his deepest fears, his personal insecurities, to try and break him, to stop him from reaching the hollow tree.
Exactly. And this is where Ryan's character really shines through. Despite the fear and doubt swirling around him, he keeps pushing forward. He knows he has to complete this mission, not just for the woman in white, but for himself.
It's like he's realized that this journey is about more than just breaking a curse. It's about confronting his own inner demons, overcoming his past, and finding his own sense of peace.
I think you're right. So does he reach the hollow tree?
Tell me he does.
He does, but it's a harrowing journey.
Yeah.
He's battered and bruised, emotionally drained, but his determination never wavers. He reaches the hollow tree, throws the locket into the hollow, and watches as it burns.
And then what does the curse break? Does the woman in white finally find peace?
As the locket burns, the ground trembles and black shadows engulf him once again. When he wakes up, he's back in his car on Highway 67.
Okay.
The locket is gone, and for a moment he feels a sense of relief, a lightness he hasn't felt in weeks.
So is it over? Is the curse finally broken?
He thinks so. He drives away from the hollow tree feeling like a weight has been lifted from his shoulders. But as he's driving, he notices something strange. His fuel gauge is reading empty, even though he just filled up his tank.
Wait, no, that's impossible. Is he still trapped in some kind of supernatural loop?
He gets out of the car and starts walking, hoping to find help.
Okay.
But the road seems to stretch on endlessly, every step leading him back to the same spot. He's still trapped somehow.
This is like one of those nightmares where you try to run but can't get anywhere. What happens next?
As he's feeling lost and hopeless, he encounters a young boy standing by the side of the road.
The creepy kid in Horror Story. What does the boy say?
He tells Ryan that he can't leave until he returns what belongs to him and points toward the dense forest.
What belongs to him? What does that even mean? Is he talking about the woman in white, or is there something else at play here?
Ryan is just as confused as you are, but something about the boy's demeanor, his cryptic words, compels Ryan to follow his instructions.
Okay.
He heads back into the forest, feeling like he's being drawn deeper and deeper into this web of mystery.
Okay, this is getting really intriguing.
Oh.
It's like every time Ryan thinks he's broken free, he gets pulled back in. What does he find in the forest this time?
He finds a small wooden house hidden amongst the trees.
Okay.
It's almost like it's been waiting for him. Right. Inside, he discovers a hidden compartment
Okay.
containing another journal.
Another journal. There's so many twists and turns in this story. What's in this one?
This journal seems to belong to someone who witnessed the curse being cast upon the village.
Okay.
There's an entry that catches Ryan's eye. It reads, "The curse will be lifted when the visitor returns what was stolen."
The visitor, is he talking about Ryan, but what was stolen? We still don't know what this curse is all about.
Right, and as if to answer that very question, Ryan discovers something else hidden in the house. It's a necklace, a beautiful silver chain with a strange symbol hanging from it.
Do you think this is what was stolen? What's so special about this necklace?
As soon as Ryan picks up the necklace, he starts hearing voices in his head, echoes of those who are trapped by the curse.
Whoa, is the necklace cursed too?
The voices are guiding him, leading him to a secret room hidden beneath the floorboards.
Okay.
And in that room, he finds a stone altar, a place of ritual and sacrifice.
It's like each step he takes reveals another layer of this dark history, pulling him closer to the truth. What happens when he reaches the altar?
When he places the necklace on the altar, the room starts to shake violently as if something powerful is awakening.
Is he unleashing the curse again, or is he somehow breaking it?
He doesn't know, but he feels compelled to continue. And just then, the shadows return swirling around him. But this time, they point towards a wall where a message has appeared. "We were forgotten, but we will not leave until this ends." And below the message, there's a drawing of the hollow tree.
The hollow tree again, it seems to be the key to everything. But what does the message mean?
It sounds like a plea from the villagers, a desperate cry for their story to be remembered, for their suffering to be acknowledged.
So they're not just seeking revenge, they want their story to be told.
Exactly. And maybe that's Ryan's role in all of this. He's not just a curse breaker, he's a witness, a chronicler of their tragedy.
So what happens next? Does Ryan go back to the hollow tree?
Feeling drawn back to the tree, he returns, and once again he encounters that young boy. You're close to the end, the boy says, but you must choose wisely.
Choose wisely. What does that mean? What choice does he have to make?
Ryan's not sure what the boy means, but he senses the weight of his words as he examines the hollow tree more closely. He discovers a hidden compartment, and inside he finds a golden key.
Another key. We've had the silver locket key and now a golden key. What does this one unlock?
He doesn't know, but he has a feeling it's important. He examines the key closely and finds a small inscription on it. The door to truth.
Wow. It sounds like this key will lead him to the heart of the mystery, the truth behind the curse, and perhaps the reason he was chosen for this journey.
He searches the hollow tree for this door to truth, and finally he finds it a small wooden door almost invisible to the naked eye. He inserts the golden key, and the door creaks open, revealing a dark, narrow passage.
Into another dimension, another realm. This is getting stranger and stranger. What does he find on the other side of that door?
He steps through the doorway and finds himself in a small, dark room. There's a massive mirror hanging on the wall, its surface reflecting nothing but darkness.
A mirror. What's the significance of that?
Mirrors are often seen as portals to other worlds in folklore and mythology. They can reflect our deepest fears, reveal hidden truths, or even trap our souls.
So what happens when Ryan looks into this mirror?
At first, he sees only his reflection, but then the mirror starts to change. It shows him visions of his deceased family, then scenes from the village before the curse, the villagers happy and carefree.
It's like he's seeing through time, witnessing the history of the village, both the good and the bad.
Exactly, and then the visions turn dark. He sees the villagers suffering, trapped and tormented by the curse. He sees the ritual that went wrong, the deal made with dark forces, and the terrible price that was paid.
So he's finally seen the truth behind the curse, the origins of the village's suffering. But what does it all mean for him? What's his role in all of this?
That question is answered when the woman in white appears beside him in the mirror. Her image flickers in and out of focus, and her voice sounds distant, as if she's speaking from across a great chasm. She tells Ryan that he has a choice to make. He can either release them from the curse, or he can take their place.
What, take their place? It sounds like a terrible choice. Does she explain what she means?
She explains that the curse requires a sacrifice. It demands a soul to be bound to the village to suffer in their place so that the villagers can be free.
So if Ryan chooses to release them, he'll be trapped in the village, experiencing their suffering for all eternity. That's a heavy burden to bear.
It is, and it highlights one of the key themes of this story, the theme of sacrifice. Ryan has already sacrificed a lot to help the villagers. His time, his energy, his peace of mind, but now he's being asked to sacrifice his very freedom, his future.
So what does he do? What choice does he make?
He hesitates.
Right.
He doesn't want to abandon the villagers, but he also doesn't want to condemn himself to an eternity of suffering. He's torn between his desire to help and his instinct for self-preservation.
It's a classic dilemma, isn't it? The hero's choice between selflessness and survival. What happens next? Does the mirror offer any guidance?
As if sensing his dilemma, the mirror shows him a vision of another key, a wooden key hidden within the hollow tree. This key, the mirror suggests, is the key to breaking the curse without requiring a sacrifice.
Another key. This story is full of twists and turns. But why is this key hidden? Why didn't the woman in white tell Ryan about it before?
That's a good question. Maybe she didn't know about this key, or maybe she felt that Ryan needed to go through these trials to confront his fears and make these difficult choices in order to truly understand the curse and break it.
It's like he needed to prove himself worthy of wielding this power, to show that he was willing to sacrifice everything to help the villagers. So what does Ryan do? Does he go back to the hollow tree to find this wooden key?
Yes, he races back to the hollow tree, driven by a renewed sense of hope.
Okay.
But the journey is more perilous than ever. The shadows are stronger, their voices filled with a mix of pleading and anger. They seem to sense that their freedom is at hand, and they're desperate to stop Ryan from finding the key.
They're like addicts. Aren't they desperate for their fix? Even if it means keeping someone else trapped in their place?
That's a very insightful observation. Addiction can be like a curse, consuming everything in its path. So does Ryan overcome these obstacles and find the key?
He has to. I'm rooting for him to break this curse once and for all.
He does find the key tucked away in a secret compartment within the hollow tree.
Great.
And as he picks it up, he sees an inscription on it. The final chance.
The final chance.
Yeah.
It sounds ominous, doesn't it? Like if he fails now, there's no going back.
He feels the full weight of that responsibility, but he's come too far to give up. He returns to the mirror room, inserts the wooden key into a keyhole he hadn't noticed before, and the mirror begins to glow with an otherworldly light.
What happens next? Does the mirror shatter? Does it open a portal to another dimension?
The mirror ripples like water, and then it transforms into a doorway, a gateway to a place that seems both familiar and strange. It's the village, but not as it is now, abandoned and cursed. It's the village as it once was before the curse, full of life and laughter.
Wow, he's traveled back in time.
Not exactly. It's more like he's entered a timeless realm, a place where the past, present, and future converge.
So what does he do in this timeless village as he try to warn the villagers about the curse?
He senses that he can't alter the past, that the curse is a fixed point in time, but he can still help. He feels drawn towards a tower at the center of the village, a tower he hadn't noticed before.
Another tower. This story is full of symbolic structures. What does he find in the tower?
He climbs the tower and finds a wooden door at the top.
Okay.
He uses the wooden key to unlock the door and steps inside. The room is small and circular with a stone altar at its center, and standing before the altar is the woman in white, her family gathered around her.
So this is the final confrontation with the curse. What happens next?
The woman tells Ryan that this is the place where the curse was cast, and this is the place where it can be broken.
Okay.
She instructs him to place the wooden key on the altar and read the inscriptions carved into the stone.
Another ritual. I'm on the edge of my seat. What happens when he reads the inscriptions?
As he reads the inscriptions, the room starts to shake, and the shadows swirl around him. Their forms more defined, now their voices, a mix of pleas and threats. They reach for him, trying to pull him away from the altar, but he resists.
So they really are the trapped villagers, desperate to be free, but also terrified of what might happen if the curse is broken.
Exactly. They're caught in a terrible paradox, wanting release but fearing the unknown.
But Ryan presses on, determined to break the curse. What happens next?
As he finishes reading the last inscription, a blinding light fills the room, and the shadows vanish with a collective wail when the light fades. The woman in white and her family are standing before him, their faces filled with gratitude and peace. They thank Ryan for freeing them from their torment.
Wow, he did it. He broke the curse. I bet he's feeling pretty amazing right now.
He feels a profound sense of relief and accomplishment. He's faced his fears, made difficult choices, and ultimately he's done the right thing.
But is his journey really over?
Well, he wakes up back on Highway 67 feeling lighter than he has in weeks.
Okay.
The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and the world seems normal again. As he gets into his car, he sees a black key lying on the passenger seat.
Another key? What's with all the keys in this story?
This key is different. It feels cold to the touch, and there's a faint pulsing energy emanating from it. He picks it up and sees an inscription on it. The door to the truth.
The door to the truth. But hasn't he already found the truth? He broke the curse, freed the villagers. What more is there to discover?
That's the question that lingers in his mind. He starts his car, and as he does, his GPS, which has been dead for weeks, suddenly comes back to life. It's guiding him somewhere, but he's not sure where.
So the journey continues, even after breaking the curse. Ryan's story isn't over yet.
It seems that way, and as he follows the GPS's guidance, he can't shake the feeling that he's not just driving towards a destination, he's driving towards his destiny.
Okay, I have to know more. What happens next? Where does the GPS lead him?
The GPS leads him to a massive, ancient-looking castle shrouded in mist and shadow, and as he gets closer, he feels a sense of foreboding, a feeling that he's stepping into something far greater, far more dangerous than anything he's encountered before.
A castle shrouded in mist and shadow. This is giving me serious gothic horror vibes.
Right, castles are often associated with secrets, power, and hidden histories, and this particular castle seems to hold a dark energy, a sense of ancient evil.
Okay, I'm completely hooked. What happens when Ryan reaches the castle? Does he go inside?
He hesitates for a moment, sensing the danger that lies within, but he's come this far, he can't turn back. Now he takes a deep breath and approaches the castle's massive wooden doors. As he reaches for the handle, he notices a keyhole that seems perfectly sized for the black key in his hand.
Oh no, I have a bad feeling about this. What happens when he unlocks the door?
He inserts the key, and the door creaks open with the sound that echoes through the centuries. He steps inside, and the door slams shut behind him, sealing him within the castle's dark embrace. And as he takes his first tentative steps into the castle's depths, he hears a whisper echoing through the halls, a voice that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Choose. Destroy or release.
Oh, that's intense. Destroy or release. We've heard those words before, haven't we?
We have. It was the choice that Ryan faced when he burned the locket in the hollow tree, and now it seems he's facing that same choice again, but on a much grander scale.
So what does he choose, destroy or release? And what exactly is he being asked to destroy or release this time? Those are questions for another deep dive.
Right.
But one thing's for sure, Ryan's journey is far from over. He's stepped through the door to the truth. And the truth, it seems, is a labyrinth of choices, consequences, and mysteries that may never be fully unraveled. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time for another adventure into the depths of human experience and the power of storytelling.